Hey, how's it going? Jeff here from Lithium Batteries San Diego. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. This video is about this company WEIZE, who sent me a lithium iron phosphate battery kit for my golf cart. It's a 51 volt, 105 amp hour plastic case battery. It comes as a kit with a state of charge meter and a charger. And this is a 2020 EZGO RXV with regen and the motor brake and tele brake system. And I'm going to document how I never done this before with their battery, but how I feel the battery goes in, good or bad. It's my prerogative to be fully transparent, and I appreciate you watching, so let's go. Okay, so you can tell we have the lead acid batteries removed. There was 4 12 volt golf cart batteries in here. I have moved the selector switch from run to tow. Actually, I'll do that now. I didn't have any batteries in here, but for safety, I'll have this in tow. I have the key off. I have safety glasses on. I will be probably wearing gloves, maybe not. But what you're going to want to do is know where your cables are going. So mine are red for the positive from the battery pack that was in here going to the controller. My negative, where did it go? Here it is. These may be longer than yours. I've replaced these before for other batteries because they were too short from the factory. But the way we're going to put the WEIZE battery in, the terminals will be right here on the passenger side. So I feel like your cables will be long enough. When you look over here, you're probably going to find that your golf cart has a voltage reducer or converter. It steps down the 48 to 12 volt. It's actually 51 volts, okay, down to 13 volts. But this reducer is going to run your headlights and your turn signal. This golf cart is street legal, brake lights. So the cables feeding this are right here. I have them pulled out of the way, but these two, this red and black, feeding the converter are going to attach to the battery for the 51 volts in. So when you look on the back of your charging port, you remember you got this triangle shape here for the EZGO. I've already removed the back piece here, and that's fine because you may want to do that too. But what's really important to note, this is what's called a reed switch. When you had it hooked up from the factory, you had this little blue wire with this connector. Take this wire, cut it off the back assembly here, put a hoop on it. We're going to give this reed switch 51 volts on the positive. Okay, I'm going to give it 51 volts on the positive. Otherwise, the golf cart's going to think the charger is plugged in, and she will turn on. She will not move unless this reed switch is hooked up to a 51 volts of the positive. So that's what that cable's doing. The other thing, if you ever see it in here, you won't have this. I have a solar panel on the golf cart, and this charges the battery. It's kind of cool. It's a different company, but you won't have this piece necessarily. But the reason I bring that up to you is because I need to find a home for that charger. My thought was to locate it right here on the top. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about locating it right here flat. That's usually the best place. So I have this plastic tub, as you do if you're doing this, and my battery was going to go right here. I just want to get a feel for how it's placed because it's important that I figure out how we're going to hold it down. I've got these handles. What I could do is run this handle down, put a hole through the case, and zip tie this handle to the tub, plastic tub, acting as a hold down. I've seen people take a ratchet strap across the top, and not good, not bad, just not me. Now these terminals, I have safety glasses on. These terminals have plastic covers on them right now too. This battery voltage is live. There is no on-off switch. So inexpensive golf cart batteries, lithium batteries from Amazon like this, do not have an on-off switch. That means you have 51 volts ready to go here and here. I'm going to start with the positive side first. So I'm going to use the largest cable, which is going to the controller. I always do that just in case. I don't know why. Superstition, but if there was a draw or something I didn't know about, I'd find out really fast. So again, we have our positive. Don't forget the charging cable. The charger cable is from the charger that I just placed right here. I got the little charging lead here, so we're going to put the controller, or I'm going to put the controller on first. We'll go so that's the DC-DC, that's the charger, that's the positive cable going to the motor controller. So this is a terminal cover, so slip that over there, and hopefully we have enough room. We probably should to run all the cables through here so that we can keep the positive terminal covered up. You always have to plan for something bad to happen. If somebody dropped a tool across the two terminals that are always on, even if there was an on-off switch, you still want to have some kind of protection on here. Charger and the DC-DC last, and this dust cover is still on a negative. This is a nylon ratchet. There it goes. Okay, cool. Now I can take the dust cover off the negative. Quick tap. Oh, by the way, too, I don't think I said it, but do you see this harness coming across the back here? I'll point to it. This black wire, I don't think I mentioned. It comes out of the wire harness, this black wire. Looks like I extended it, so it's normally this short. This needs to be on the negative battery terminal as well. Still no bite, that's good. It means the loads are off. I do like the lithium batteries, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I told you I'd say the good and the bad. When you buy an expensive lithium iron phosphate battery on Amazon, are they better than lead acid? Yeah, they last longer. I'm not gonna, for sure. Lighter. I'm getting rid of 80 pounds times 4, which is 320 pounds of lead. And I've got 90 pounds of replacement, so golf cart's gonna do well. The more expensive lithium batteries, this has Bluetooth, by the way, too, for an app. But the more expensive batteries have a little more sophistication. They have a remote. They have a remote on-off. They have an on-off on the battery itself. They have communication sometimes with the if they have an agreement with the golf cart manufacturer, they can hook into the comms of the cart if you have like a heads-up display. So to secure the charger, I'm going to use some self-drilling screws, self-tappers. I'm going to use an extension. So the charger has 4 spots here, and we're just going to send it on this base here. Just make sure you don't grab it, you don't screw through a wire when you do that. And the charger is going to be, it's called an onboard charger. So now you have a decision to do with how you're going to feed it. Some people are just going to lift the seat up, plug an extension cord in, and give the charger 110. I'm going to tell you that you can go online and order, because this kit doesn't come with it, what's called a NOCO GCP1. And what that's going to allow you to do, and I have one in here now. Let's get the camera over here. See this guy right here? This is called the NOCO GC1. You can see the extension cord goes right in here. It doesn't come with this plate. This plate was mine. Okay, so it just comes with this circular part. And if you want, I think I'm going to put a card or a video card where you can see if you want to convert this into this NOCO. I did a video where I cut this into a circle and I installed, because I want to use this plastic back piece to give this NOCO support. So circle cut, the NOCO goes into here, and that way you don't have to source this plastic piece. I believe I had this cut custom for back in the day. Anyway, so with having a NOCO on the outside like this, you can plug an extension cord that will feed, as you can see here, the charger with this pigtail. So this comes in, and now we plug in the charger AC, which is right here, just like that. She's got a big display, I will tell you that. I'm used to smaller stuff, and you know what, I'm not mad about this. She's got a big base. What I'm going to do is I can take this, I call it the hat, the console. you can separate this. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put some self-drilling screws through here. Or I could use the bolts I gave you. They're really long though. And I'm going to feed the wire for the stated charge meter. By the way, too, the stated charge meter port is right here on the face of the battery. It's a little circle pin. I'm going to run the data cable underneath the cart. To the back side of this, there's an opening. Secure it, put a hole in the dash, secure it, secure this, put a hole in the dash, send it up there, reattach the dash, and I'm done. Dash off is going to take a little 10mm socket. Up underneath there, you got these little cheap little nuts. Grab a hold of this guy, and it comes off. I've got a little USB cable you won't have. I have a cheap Amazon speedometer hole here for that cable to come through. That cable to go to the stated charge meter. There it is right here. So I'm going to fish that through there. I'll fish it through here. There's a hole. So put the SOC mount, pedestal mount, where you want it to go. Take a Sharpie, mark the spot. Looks like some M10 bolts. I got a 1/4-inch drill. Hopefully they're not too long. Secure those up. I'm not going hard on that. I'm just doing a couple of threads. Then I try to pull the SOC meter out. Let's go check out the meter. Okay, so it doesn't light up because, duh, it has an on-off switch. There it comes. Cool. Look at that. The battery shipped to us at 43%. And here's some data. Let's take a look here. It gives me amps charging current, so I'm not driving and I'm not charging, so that's 0. When you drive, that'll show you the amps leaving. Charging shows you the amps in. My voltage is 52.83 volts, and it says I'm at 30 degrees Celsius. And let's go here to this. We have discharge on, charge on. Those buttons you can select and deselect, I believe. Yeah, I can turn those off. That one comes back on automatically. Discharge stays off. Okay, cool. So by default, I will use this screen. Most importantly to me when I'm driving or going somewhere is the state of charge, 43%. My current, I am interested in current. I put people in here. I like to see the high amps to, I don't know why, I kind of like that, to see amps of what I'm demanding from the battery by way of the controller. My battery voltage and my temperature, which would be internal to the battery, I would assume is Celsius. There we have a normal status. We have discharge button, charge button, so we can deselect charge, so it won't take a charge apparently if I turn that off. Discharge, I've turned this off before, it just comes right back on. It says we have 45 amp hours remaining because we're at 43%. So there you go. Oh, look at it, discharge is staying off. Oh, that's cool. Let's turn it back on. What else do we have here? Temperature again, and then this button here will show you each cell's voltage. And I didn't go into it, but I'm pretty sure there's an active balancer balancing out the cells. By the way, there is a video. It's a good time to talk about it. There's another YouTube person that does a teardown on this battery. So I decided not to do that because he did an excellent job. Goes into great detail and knows way more than I do. Let's drive this thing.